This video covers adding and editing your news/press, events, and team members. Now, not all sites may use these. They are optional, and they're placed in different areas on different sites, different brand, business unit, or language sites. And right now we're looking at Lindsday Turkey. Temporarily have the Lindsday Europe in here. Remember, when you're in the CMS, you can hit escape and all your controls go away. Just be sure to hit escape again to bring them back. If you ever logged into the CMS and you don't see these, just hit escape and refresh to make sure they come back. Okay, so we are at News and Press. You can see here on the Lindsday Turkey site, it lives under About Lindsday Turkey. Some brand and business unit sites have press in their main nav here, for example, Zematic, and we just changed the name to press. It can be news, it can be press, whatever you want to call it. There is just one option for news and press. Remember that the in the news sidebar widget that is optional on all pages is going to pull in the latest 3 items from this list. Okay? With your news and press, you have the option to link off to external websites. So you might have an article about you and you just want to put in a short abstract on this press landing page and link off to it, and also offer the option for download. All this is optional. So you check out this, you click on that, and it opens up that web page. Okay, this one actually has the option for a details page where you can actually have the story live on your site, and then if you want to link off, you can do that in the text in here and just do a text link, which is covered in the basic editing with the formatter tool video. Okay, I'm going to go back, and you notice this is the image I have pulled up here. That is going to be the image that shows up on your news or press landing page, whatever you call it. Same here, that's the first image in the slideshow, or the first single image if you have that. So how do we edit your news and press? Well, you have, notice 3 different content edit buttons here. The first one is just if you want to have some intro text on that press page or a main photo, you can do that, content edit, and you can put in some text here in the content area. Alright, I'm just going to have this be a list page for now, and I'm going to go click content edit for this first one. Alright, so it doesn't have a details page simply because there was a URL entered here. So if this is a news story that you just simply want to link to on another site, all you do is put in that URL and it will automatically generate that link where you click on the title, it opens a new window or tab. You want to make sure you put in the full HTTP on for the external websites. Okay, you have a title field, you have a publication, this is an optional field, but it'll display next to the title. And then if you wanted to have a details page, you would delete this and put the content in here so it shows up there. Once again, you have your slideshow images that you can use from your image picker, or you can upload unique images. It doesn't have to be a slideshow. You can see here as a single image. Okay, and if you have a details page, you also have a sidebar options that you can put in on those news. And then you also have in your metadata tab, there's a couple fields that are added here specific to the news type. One is your abstract. Remember, the abstract is the text that displays on a parent page. So since this is a news story, and this is the content for that news story, news/press, this abstract is what's going to display on the news/press landing page. So I'll put in this test abstract so you can see that change. And then if you have a PDF that you want, if this is optional, you just upload it here, and they have the option to download that PDF, both from the news press landing page or on that details page. Okay, remember that is in the metadata tab, the PDF and your abstract. Alright, I'm going to click save. And you can see test abstract is displaying there now. And because I have a URL, it doesn't go to a details page on your site, it links off to that. Now for this one, I'm going to go to content edit. This one does not have a URL. Instead, it's got content here. And in the metadata tab, remember, I have my abstract that shows up on that landing page for news. And then I have my PDF if I want that. No PDF here. I'm going to go back. And so now, you see, here I have that download PDF that showed up because I uploaded a PDF. I didn't upload a PDF here, so it's not showing up. I also didn't put in this field, the publication, so that's not showing up either after the date. You also, for all news, have the option to archive it, and it will be taken to an archive page. Now, how do you add news and events? Just like any content on your site, you can copy existing ones. Go to Content, Copy. Are you sure you want to copy? Whenever you copy something, it's going to set it to preview. Remember, preview means you can only see it when you're logged into the CMS. Public cannot see it. The reason we do that with copies is because when you copy it, it carries over that content. You need to edit it before it's published. So you would just set this to published, delete the existing content and change it out, pick the images you want or upload new ones. If you want sidebar items, if it has a details page, put it there, and then add your abstract and PDF if you need it, or add a URL. So this is test 3. I'll click Save. And there's my third one. Now, how come this shows up in a different order? Because they need to be sorted. So I'll go in and say, I wanted that one to be third. I'm sorry, this one is not sorting with news. It's based on date. So I'm going to say this one came later. I'm going to date it. And we're going to say it is the 18th. Click Save. And it's going to show the latest first, okay, with your news. All right, now with events. Remember, this was press, and then on some sites, I'm going to go back to Lindsday Turkey, that news and press lives here. Same thing. Events are similar. Events do not have the option for images on the landing page. They also have the option to link off to URLs or to have specific, details pages on your website. And you can see here, I link to Lindsday Corporate. And this one, because I put content in the content tab, there's an actual details page for that event. So I'm going to go back to my events page. I'm not seeing my CMS edit buttons. I'm going to hit escape. They're back. I could edit some intro text on this page if I wanted to, the events landing page, using that first content edit button. And notice also that you have the option to categorize. This is going to use your resource categories. These are optional. If you do not want to have categories, just don't select a category for an event. So I'm going to go in and look at this test one that has a URL. Okay, notice I went in there and said I wanted that to fall under that category. Well, I'm going to make that plain so there's no longer a category. Now I put in a URL here, so that's why it automatically opens that new linker tab. Even though I have text in here, that URL is going to override that text. If I wanted it to have a details page, I would delete this URL and then it would show this text on that details page. I have the option for a sidebar. Pick all my different options. And then your metadata also, where the abstract is, and if you have a PDF associated with that event, you can upload it there. And we talk about the rest of the metadata fields in another training. SEO best practices, we encourage that you use this page title, the title that shows up at your top of your browser, and your friendly link name. So if it was a specific event, I would put some details about that event there in both. Okay, I'm going to go back. And I'm going to look at, my computer's acting up, I'm sorry. I'm going to look at the second event. Now I didn't save this one when I removed that category. Let me go back and do that. That was the only change I made. Okay, and now this category no longer has a category. This is the event that has that details page. I'm going to go in and click Edit. Notice that there's no URL, but there's content there, so that's why it's going to click over to a details page on your site. You do also have an end date field as well. Publication could be, if it's in an organization, you could just enter that, the organization's name. And you have sidebar options like we said, and you can upload a PDF for that event. Abstract is in the metadata tab. Okay, now I'm going to remove the category here. Remember, these are your resource categories, which you add under the Do Stuff interface. You can go in and Do Stuff, Content, Add Resource Category. Now, notice I removed, neither of these events are associated with a category. Excuse me. So there's no longer categorization on the page. And with categories, they will sort based on the sort order you put for the category. That is covered under the resources, managing your resources section training video. All right, and then finally we're going to look at your team. Not every site uses a team, but you have the option to have a team section, and you can simply just have a list page. This is what we did, a prototyping process where we planned out the website, and it was requested for the team just to simply have a landing page so you could show team members and small icons where you could put headshots in. Hit escape to bring these back. But you can have a details page if you want it. Before we hit save, I want to go in and just show you all the different fields here. Okay, so you have your first name, last name, both are required, sort number, the order in which they'll display on that team landing page, position title, content. Now if you want to have a details page, you put for that team member where you click in and it's more detailed bio about them, you do that. However, if you don't want to do that, you leave this blank, and under your metadata tab, you fill in an abstract. And also under your metadata tab at the bottom, there's an image here where you can upload a headshot. I'll click on that, and you can see it's going to resize it when we go back to that landing page. Okay. So Jim Hendrickson now has a optional details page on the site. I'm going to go back, and you can see here, so does John Doe. If I don't want to have that details page, no content in the main content area, and I'll just put content in the abstract field as a short bio about that individual. Okay, notice his name is no longer a link. That's the abstract text right there, that's their title. Okay, that covers your news and press, your events, and your team.